Hey guys, I'm going to take a video of myself reading the book that I would have read today if we'd been able to be at school. I'm going to turn my camera around so that that it's facing the book pages so you can see the pages as I'm reading. This book is about rocks, and we had started talking about rocks on Tuesday, and remember we learned that there are three different categories of rocks: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. This book is called Let's Go Rock Collecting. People collect all kinds of things. They collect coins and stamps, baseball cards, shells, toys, bottles, pictures, and cats. Some people collect things that are very old. The older, the better. The oldest thing you can collect are rocks. Most of them are millions and millions of years old. Most kinds of rocks are easy to find, but some, like diamonds and emeralds, are rare, and that's why they're valuable. It means they cost a lot of money. Rocks cover the whole earth. No matter where you live on rock. There's rock under the city streets and country farms, and there is rock under every single ocean, lake, and river. So here's a picture of that. So the earth is made up of layers. The very top layer is the crust, and then there's a solid rock layer, and that's under all the water in our world. Gonna skip that page. All right, so the rocks that make up the surface of the earth are called the earth's crust. Most of the crust is made of igneous rock. Remember, that's one of our three types of rock. And igneous means it's made by heat. Inside the earth is very hot, hot enough to melt the rock, and the melted rock inside the earth is called magma. Sometimes magma pushes through the cracks in the earth's crust, and when magma comes to the surface, it's called lava. So that happens when a volcano erupts. Most of the Earth's igneous rock comes from volcanoes on the seafloor. Did you know that there are volcanoes under the ocean? Here are some examples of igneous rock. So this is granite. Granite is an igneous rock. It used to be magma. Remember, magma is the molten rock that's inside the earth, that's like below the Earth's crust. Some granite is gray and small with shiny black and white crystals, and some granite has large pink, black, and white crystals. A lot of times people use granite to make their kitchen countertops. This is quartz, and the crystals in granite are called quartz. So remember, they're little shiny crystals inside the granite. They're these things. Some pieces of quartz are white like milk, and other are clear like glass. Here's another piece of quartz. Sometimes quartz has bands of colors. A lot of jewelry is made from it. Marbles sometimes are made from quartz. And then this type of rock is called basalt. Excuse me. Basalt is another kind of igneous rock. It's usually dark, gray, green, or black. It's the most common of all the igneous rocks. We're going to skip over this page for now too. All right, so now the second type of rock we're going to talk about is sedimentary rock. So sedimentary rock is made from layers of sediment. And sediment is when grains of sand and mud and little pebbles and bits of rock are moved by water. A lot of times they were moved millions of years ago, and they were blown into the rivers, and the rivers carried the sand along and dropped it into lakes and oceans. And layer after layer of all that stuff settled on the bottom of the seas and the lakes, and the top layers pressed down on the bottom layers. And slowly, the lowest layers, these down here, the lower layers of the sand became stone. You'll know sandstone when you see it because it's often soft and grainy, and if you rub it with your fingers, grains of sand might come off. And I have a piece of sandstone that I'll bring to school when we're able to come back that you can do that with. Another type of sedimentary rock is limestone. We have a lot of limestone here in Frankfort, in Kentucky. It is made of the shells of animals that lived millions of years ago, so like fossils. Most often limestone is white, but it can be pink, tan, and other colors, and sometimes you can find the outlines of shells in limestone. See, the little girl just found the outline. It's like an imprint of a fossil. There's a little doggy found a bone. We use limestone to make cement, and cement is what our sidewalks are made out of. So when you make cement, you mix sand, gravel, and water, and it turns into concrete. So that gravel is made from limestone. All right, we're going to skip over this page. So besides igneous and sedimentary rocks, there is a third kind of rock in the Earth's crust, and it's called metamorphic, and that means it's rock that has changed. So so rock, it's like there's a lot of pressure that's pushed down on it, or it's under so much heat that it changes. So here are some examples of rocks that are one type of rock, and then what they turn into when they if it's a metamorphic rock. So granite, remember we talked about granite, it was an igneous rock, but if you put it under a lot of pressure and heat, it turns into rock called gneiss. So granite can turn into gneiss. It once was a piece of gray granite, and now it is darker gray, and its crystals have separated into layers. So the crystals are just kind of all over on the granite, and now it's been pushed together, kind of squished up and folded together, and you can see the layers of crystals now. It's kind of confusing, because if I saw that, I might think, oh, layers, it looks like a sedimentary rock, but but that is actually metamorphic, because it used to be granite. All right, and so limestone, this is what we were just talking about. It's a sedimentary rock, and it turns into marble. So marble has colored marks that look kind of like clouds. If you've ever been inside the Capitol building that's in our city of Frankfort, you've seen marble. There's lots of marble there. All the steps and everything is made out of marble. It's really pretty. So limestone changes to marble. Right? Sandstone turns into quartzite. It may still look like sedimentary sandstone, but it is now much harder. So this is sandstone. Remember how we said you could rub on it and grains of sand would come off? Well, once it's under a lot of heat and pressure, it turns into quartzite. And so then it hardens, and you can't rub little grains of sand off of it anymore. And so that is the changed form of it. So these are metamorphic rocks. So think about when we learned about butterflies and how they metamorphosize into from caterpillars to butterflies. Well, rocks can metamorphosize as well. All right, so anybody can collect rocks. You guys, that could be something that you all do while you're at home. You could go out in your yard and look around and see if you can find some rocks. You can use an egg carton to separate them if you have one, or any kind of box, and see if you can find rocks that have different colors, or rocks that look like they have layers, or rocks that are that you can kind of rub on and they kind of flake apart. And if you find anything really cool, you can bring them back to school with you when we're able to come back. All right, well, that's the end of this book, and I hope you all enjoyed. And the pages that I skipped because we're going to talk about those things a little bit later. All right, see you all later. Bye.